We are now on page 44, and we are talking about surface area. All right, so this is fairly self-explanatory. We know that of area, we've done units where we talk about like the area of a square or the area of a rectangle or the area of something. We do this side times this side, and we're figuring out how much space is inside of that two-dimensional figure. Okay, area, you know it, you love it. Surface, then, if we think about like the surface of water is the top of water, or the surface of your skin is the very outermost skin. So surface, I think of as anything you could paint. It's the outside of something. So surface area then, if I'm looking at a rectangular prism here, the surface area is all the area I could paint. So if I added up the areas of each individual piece and put them together, that would be the surface area. So I picked rectangular prism for a reason, because that's what we are starting with, the surface area of prisms. And the first thing you need to know is if I take, these are special. If I take this out, this is a rectangular prism still, right? Got two identical square rectangular bases. If I unfold this now, this is a flat representation of what could be folded up to become a three-dimensional figure. So the surface area of this shape together is the same as the area of this flat weird thing. And this is called a net. A net is an unfolded representation of a three-dimensional shape. So we're going to attempt to draw what this looked like. Probably could have just done that. And then a square on either side. So it looked like, when it looks like this, it's a prism. Then when it turns into something like this, this is a net. So nets are very helpful when we are learning about surface area, because instead of having to hold a figure and measure it, we can look at things in terms of what they look like when they're flattened out. So first thing is to start with your first sort of skill level, if we're thinking in terms of like levels. So level 1 would be, I give you a grid paper net. And we are hopefully either going to make one of these or did make one of these in school today. And we are going to start on this page just doing no, that's not correct. Ignore me. Yeah, we're doing rectangular prisms. Just rectangular prisms today. So I drew out one of these. Okay? This is the net of a rectangular prism. So I can put together the areas of the individual spots. So this pink area is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 1, 2, 3, 6 by 3. I have another 6 by 3 area right here. Both of those have a total of 6, 12, 18 units in them. Over here, I have similar, but these are 3 by 5. 3 times 5 is, of course, 5, 10, 15. So both of these have an area of 15. And lastly, I have these bigger areas, which I know are 6 by 5. And this one is also 6 by 5. 6 times 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So now to find the surface area of the whole thing, if I wanted to paint the whole thing, I have to add these numbers up because all of this is part of the surface area, whether it's on the top, the bottom, the bases. So I can say, all right, I know 30 and 30 is 60. I'm going to cross those out so I remember I've taken care of them. 15 and 15 makes 30. 30 plus 60 is 90. So if I do 90 plus 18, I'm at 108. And if I do 108 plus 18, I'm at 126. Doesn't seem right. 16, carry the 1, yeah. 126. So this surface area, the surface area of this net is 126 square units. That's level 1, what we did on here. Level 2 now is to be able to look at the net, but not a grid paper, just with measurements written off to the side. So an example in your book would be, they show you a rectangular prism that starts out looking like this as a regular figure. This is another way to draw prisms. You do the lines that would be hidden as dotted lines. And then the book turns it into a net for you. So they show you that as a net, this would be, you'd have this piece laying down. So you have one big long piece here. It's broken up into short, long, short. Oh my gosh. Ignore that. And then you got one wing out here, one wing out here. Okay, on the figure, they're telling you that this is 3 inches tall, 7 inches wide, and 4 inches deep. And on the net, it's labeled for you how long everything is. So the long sides are all 7 inches. This is where it helps when the book labels it for you. So this side, these short pieces are 4 inches. And then where's the 3-inch piece? These are 3 inches. All these little guys right here. By the way, these are also 4 inches on the sides here. Now it's just looking crazy because there's a lot of writing. But essentially, I'm saying that that would be given to you. Now Level 2, your job is, without being able to rely on the grid paper, can you still find the area of each section? So this section right here is a 7 by 4, which is 28. The good news is a lot of times you'll find that there's more than one with the same area. This is a 7 by 3, which is 21. This is a 4 by 3, which is 12. This is a 7 by 3, which is another 21. This is another 4 by 3, which is 12. Math facts got to be like on point with this, or it's going to take you 150 years. All right, I'm looking and I know from my math background that 12 plus 28 would be an easy way to add 40. So these two will make 40. I can do the same thing with this 28 and 12 as another 40 is 80. And then 21 plus 21 is 42. So 80 plus 42 is 122 inches squared, or square inches. Surface area, because it is area, is always expressed in square units, square inches, square centimeters, square whatever. Okay, so that's level 2. They make the net for me and they put in all the numbers. Can I use that to figure out the surface area? Level 3 then is you just get a picture of the 3D picture, of the 3D figure. Can't talk. So another example would be 5 by 5 by 6.5. Oops. Turned out a little janky. Whew, that's rough. I'm going to do the age-old trick. Shade in one side and it instantly looks better. All right, so in this we're saying that these sides are 5 centimeters, 5 centimeters, and 6.5 or 6.5 centimeters tall. They've only labeled 3 sides because that's all you need. You can figure out all the other measurements from figuring out what edges are the same length as the edges they've given you, right? So if this is 5 centimeters, then this is 5 centimeters, this is 5 centimeters, and this is 5 centimeters. By telling you this is 5 centimeters, you know this is 5 centimeters, this is 5 centimeters, and this is 5 centimeters. And then the only thing that's different are these guys that are 6.5 centimeters long, and there's 4 of them. So using that, now I have to mentally be able to make sure I'm finding the area of every single side. So let's start with the top. The top is a 5 by 5 rectangle. 5 times 5 is 25. The bottom, guess what, is going to be the same thing. I often find it is helpful to have sort of an order that you go through when you attack these shapes rather than just picking random sides, okay? If I do this side right here, this side is 5 by 6.5. 5 by 6.5 is 32.5, I'm pretty sure. Here's how I can test. I pretend the decimal's not there. I multiply, and then I put the decimal that many places in. Hey, I was right. Whoop, whoop. All right. Now this side is 32.5. Guess what? The next side is also 5 times 6.5. So that one's also 32.5. This side back here is also 5 by 6.5. So it's also 32.5. And the one side we have yet to do, this side right here, will have the same measurements. 5 times 66.5 equals 32.5. Now, just like all the other times, we have to add all these up. So I know that 25 plus 25 is 50. I'm going to put a check mark so I know I've done those. I know that 32.5 plus 32.5, well, 30 plus 30 is 60, and 2.5 plus 2.5 is 5, so that'll be 65. So this chunk will also be 65. I add them up, 12, 17, 18. So the surface area of this rectangular prism is 180 square centimeters or centimeters squared. And again, surface area is area, so it's always expressed in square units. Here's the 3 levels of finding the surface area of a rectangular prism. Oh, I can't find them.